So welcome back to Live Athletic. We just finished looking at assessing if we've got tight ankles. Now we're going to move forward and have a look at what we do about that and have a look at some mobility drills that are good for increasing range of motion through the ankle. Pretty much, I think anyone who's got restriction at the ankle joint, the go-to exercise for me is an ankle mobility drill. We call it banded ankle distraction. It's where we put a band in the ankle joint and we move around that band to loosen up the ankle joint. I just finished explaining the previous video about the concept of stretching and how valuable stretching is to an athlete. I think if you're highly flexible, stretching is a good thing, or you've got pretty good range of motion and you can get into a pretty good position, you want to stress it further, you can start to stretch out that position. But if you're restricted in the joint or restricted in a particular position, I think stretching generally is pretty overrated, static stretching. So we're going to have a look at my go-to exercise for ankle mobility. This exercise involves using a strength band, and we put that strength band around, like deep into the ankle joint. If you've got a pair of shoes on, you want to put it under the tongue of your shoe, start sitting right in the crease of the ankle joint, and we're going to try to put lots of pressure on this band. So I get a bench, and I just put my elbows on the bench, and I just start dropping my knee to the floor. And I just go up and down here, dropping my knee to the floor, pulsing in and out of that movement. And I can do that 10 to 15 times. When I do this, I like to keep my knee towards the outside of my big toe. I don't want to have the knee collapsing inward. I want to keep the knee just going up and down, shin shunting forward. And it is okay to have my heel off the ground here. But as you can see, there's lots of pressure on this band. So I finish normally with 5 big ones where I drop my knee to the floor. And if that foot starts slipping back too far, you might just have to jump up and drag that foot forward, because you can see there's lots of pressure on that band. So that would be my go-to mobility exercise for the ankle joint. And when you get out of there, it's good to do like a bit of a retest on that, and just to see how good that ankle feels. And you just often feel the glide forward of the shin when we do that drill. To do that exercise, as I said, you need to use a thing called a strength band. So this is a strength band. It's not a TheraBand. It's not a rehab band. It's about 1 inch thick, and generally they're the green coloured ones you can get from most fitness suppliers. Just wrap it around a pole. If you're at home, I think the best scenario to do this with is with your clothesline. You've got a clothesline, you can just wrap it around the base, and you can just bring a box out and put the elbows on the box and work that drill. If you don't have that equipment and you can't set up that scenario, there's probably another couple of ones that you can do. I just like, generally, people these days do not sit down in a deep squat position enough. You know that a lot of Asian people, and in Asian culture, they do a lot of things squatting. So gardening, they'll be doing, they'll be sitting in that squat position. And often those people do not have ankle mobility drills. They've done it from a young age. So for me, I like just sitting down here, and I just call it a frog squat position, and you can just bounce your butt up and down and just get that shin shunting forward. So from side on, it'll look like this. Just bouncing up and down that squat position. When you do that, even if you're restricted, you can sit here up in this position and just bounce your butt up and down. And again, you're just trying to break into that tight ankle joint, rather than simply doing a calf stretch, which I think might lack a bit of value there in terms of trying to get more range of motion through the ankle. The last one, which is a little bit of a stretch, but I think it's not a bad one, is just sitting down. I call it the sit-on foot stretch, where we sit down on the ground, and I just sit on top of that foot, and I just put all my body weight. I'm trying to get my shin to shunt forward there, and I can just sit in that position. So from front on, sitting down on my foot, and I'm putting all my body weight forward. I'm trying to get this shin to go forward. Again, if my heel lifts off the ground here a little bit, I don't mind. If I'm trying to eat into that position, I don't mind if the heel comes off, Because sometimes if you keep the heel on the ground, you just can't get enough weight on that shin to reproduce some pliability in that ankle joint and trying to get the shin to shunt forward. So I think for me, there's some good places to start in terms of getting some more ankle range of motion. Got any other questions? You can get back to us at info@liveathletic.com.au. Thanks for listening.